Congress is well known and has a long-standing history, but the message of FATA is the people of Awarpuz in Kathmandu are no longer relying on the party's name and history, as stated by Congress Chief Minister Gagan Kumar Tharpar. During the concluding session of the Mangalbar Party's Special Congress, Tharpar presented a political report and asserted that no one could attain enough confidence without messages from leaders. Despite the fact that our party's name and history are impressive, we have yet to instill confidence in people. He noted that people, especially younger generations, tend to associate Congress with courage rather than compromise, idealism, loyalty to opportunistic ideology, and corruption with integrity. The present landscape and Nepali Congress were emphasized in the report by him. The statement is made in this manner. The occurrence of Bhadra 23 and 24 did not happen at the same time. Not only is the Nepali Congress Party accountable for today's events, but we also maintain our supremacy over the last two federal democratic republican parliaments with the overwhelming love and affection of the people of Nepal. We have been prepared to face these events due to our weaknesses and failures during governmental operations. The Nepali Congress is currently experiencing a pivotal moment in its impressive past, as we become increasingly ensnared in the day-to-day administration of power without giving much thought to policy or program. Our involvement in politics and programs has diminished, leaving us with less self-compassion. The Nepali Congress is the party that brought democracy, a federal democratic constitution, people's rights and freedom, and stimulated hopes for progress. We led the Ahwa movement to create an ambitious federally democratic republican constitution, which we are proud of. This act ignited dreams and hopes in ordinary citizens. The beauty of democracy lies in its ability to inspire common people and make them feel optimistic about their future. Despite this, citizens who actively pursued political change before the Constitution was written are now living with unfulfilled dreams and angry against the forces that produce change, even in the form of structures created by society. The Sri Lankanists' alliance before and after the election was not solely about power or opposition, as there was a rise in political participation and business policy in parliamentary politics. This distorted the public's perception of government and caused people to become angry with the party. Despite the fact that our party's name and history are impressive, we still have to send a message that isn't enough to maintain faith in society. Instead, people now view Congress as lacking in courage, compromise, idealism, loyalty, opportunism, and corruption, particularly among younger generations. We must all work towards making this happen. Although we are not affiliated with the movement in 62/63, it has proven difficult for political forces and leadership to engage in meaningful discussions with people who have witnessed or heard their actions as children. We can only understand their perspective, and they prioritize our history over our future. They respect our role by looking back, but they do not want to create excuses or question our average performance. The population of Nepal has experienced rapid demographic changes in the past decade, with increasing migration from rural to semi-urban areas and rapid movements into cities for education, healthcare, and job opportunities. This has also impacted political agendas, interests, concerns, rules, as well as access to educational facilities, housing, etc.
The dissolution of NEPSI's board, which has a maximum stake of 5%, as a study committee has recommended that a current steering committee be removed to dismantle the Nepal Stock Exchange NEPS to restructure the stock. The report submitted by the Reorganization Studies Committee to Finance Minister Rangeshwar Karnal on Monday suggested that NEPS should establish an expert steering panel and collaborate as one of its members. A high-level study committee was set up by the government to restructure the NEPS on the 3rd of last month. On Monday, it submitted its report to the Finance Minister, as confirmed by Ministry spokesman Tank Prasad Pandar. The committee recommended that NEPS should be restructured by dissolving the current executive committee and forming a new executive committee with experts from shareholder institutions. Furthermore, the committee determined that an institution or group should not increase their share price in any given day of trading to 5%. The committee has given two alternatives to the government's ownership of shares. One is to allow the government to hold 25% of the shares and sell the remaining portion, while the other allows 100%. The committee proposes that the NEPSI Executive Committee, which is currently in existence, should not be dissolved and a new executive committee should be formed. According to an Arthur Mantralayer source, the NPSC Steering Committee must have a dedicated team to implement the recommendations as per the committee report. The committee has recommended that NEPSI's shares, which are currently owned by the current government, be sold at an open bid. To achieve this, it is necessary to conduct a due diligence audit and determine prices from 15-25% of government-owned shares. The committee has proposed that no local institution should possess more than 5% of shares, and it also proposes that commercial banks should be given priority in the local institutions. The Nepal government holds a 9.51% stake in Nepal Rashtra Bank, while Rashtriya Wanajir Bank ranks at 11.23. Among the committee members are Murahari Parajulai, Subhash Chandra Gimayar, Rupesh Kesi, Niraj Giri, and Sharad Nurullar, who were granted 50 days of study time by Prakash Jungthorpe and former chairman of Nepal Examination Board.
Vishwa Prakash's suggestion, once proportional, the last time proportionate. In Awarpuz, Kathmandu, Vishwa Prakash Sharma, the Chief Minister of Nepali Congress, has proposed to be the candidate for a one-time proportional contest. The proposal was presented by Sharma in a closed session of Special Assembly Hall with the presentation of the political report. The President of India, Shri Narendra Modi, and his colleagues will be represented either directly or proportionally for a specific term, as stated in the report. The second session of Congress is currently underway in Brikutamandat, Kathmandu. The individual who is
The election committee's dissolution was announced by the supporters of the Special Assembly, who then proceeded to conduct. The supporters of the Brikutamandat Special Convention in Kathmandu have stated that they will proceed with the election process, which is scheduled to start on Tuesday. The special parties that held the inaugural session yesterday and closed today confirmed their participation in tomorrow's voting. During a press conference in Mangalore, Suresh Pokharel, the conference's campaign coordinator, shared the news. The Parliamentary Assembly, which is scheduled to hold its elections tomorrow, will decide whether the Prime Minister's report on the upcoming election is accepted. He stated that the Electoral Committee will be disbanded and replaced with a new one before it can implement changes in policy and leadership. According to him, the Special Assembly will be chosen with 51% of votes. A motion of no confidence is not being considered by us for the chairman. The Speaker asserts that 2/3 will vote in favour of the disqualification request, and we do not want it to be included in our plans. The party leadership will proceed as planned, he said, and the process is expected to be like any other. The delegates will feel ashamed the next day and then proceed with the election process. He remarked that this is a significant step forward for all of us in our elections.
Until midnight, the Hankema Ring will be present at Deep Shresha. Nepalese Association Hanking has arranged for senior singer Deep Shresha to perform at New Year celebration musical gathering on Nathan Road on Sunday, in honor of his 75th birthday. At midnight, Shresha, the talented singer, had sung over 12 songs and conveyed his appreciation of life. The first to speak of his songs, he said, "I came from afar and called out his name, saying it was him who walked through the dark night with clouds in his eyes every day." After a brief moment of rest, Motherland Nepal remembered how fragile it is to be unable to sing, with dreams falling on top of one's head and naked people in their villages. He was joined by other Nepalese artists who sang along with him at Hankinsthit. The organizers of the event, Pradeep Thapa, declared that they were organizing the occasion to celebrate Shresha's birthday and New Year 2026. He also mentioned that he took a break from his usual duties by bringing together music experts. The music event was hosted by Devraj Rai, who also worked as a communications person at Jedimalsthit Everest Restaurant and Bar. The audience, including celebrities, business people, entrepreneurs, and artists, were joined by the association in putting together the event.